What's up, y'all? Welcome back to ATX Most Wanted. If you're with us before the commercial break, the trivia question is, when did the Clyde Littlefield Texas Relays start?
When it, what, 1, 2, yeah, it started in 1925, one of the second largest track meets ever since, what, Penn State Relays? But it was also a men's only competition. I mean, I kind of want to push you off the stool for that one.
No, it's all right.
I mean, women have always been around, been doing the back-breaking work for a while now. Ladies, where you at?
A lot of women are probably faster than me, just being honest.
Oh, well, you know, he's a slow bump. It's cool. But even with that, wouldn't you always want to know what people were like before they got big and famous? Well, actually, so man, you had the opportunity to talk to PKT on. He actually got to chill with who? Chamillionaire, Paul Wall, a few artists out of Houston, some out of ATL, some big names right now. Yeah. So, I mean, how was that with him?
Yeah, PKT is a guy that has been down with the Houston rap scene for a long time, and he's been one of those guys that's just been hanging out in the background. He was actually in a rap group with Paul Wall and Chamillionaire before they were called Paul Wall and Chamillionaire. I believe they were called Incognito and the Caped Crusader. So this guy has really been around for a while.
See why that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I know, right? I think they picked better names, but yeah, he let us in on the Houston hip-hop scene, and he's also got a lot of big names on his upcoming album. So.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get in that interview.
What's up, y'all? This is ATX Most Wanted. We're here with PKT, Houston original. And Keith, are you manager?
Yeah.
Manager? Okay, cool. PKT and Keith. So PKT is about to put out his upcoming album. It's going to be called, what, Texas Renaissance?
Yeah, the Texas Renaissance.
Okay, cool. And for those of y'all that don't know, way back when, PKT, way back in the day, back maybe probably before I even knew what hip-hop was, he used to run around with two guys called Paul Wall and Chamillionaire. Yeah. So do y'all want to let people at home know what's going on with that? How was that?
Oh, well, yeah, basically, that was the start of my career. Me, Paul Wall, Chamillionaire, had a group together called the Sleepwalkers. And back then, Paul Wall wasn't Paul Wall, Chamillionaire wasn't Chamillionaire. They were Incognito and the Cape Crusader. Right. So some stuff like that. Yeah, okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so, it was still my guys. I got Paul Wallers on the upcoming album. And I'm trying to get Chamillionaire, but, man, label's hard.
And I just heard the song with Lil Kiki.
Oh, yeah.
Is that gonna be on there? What's that one called?
That's She Likes It. Yeah, that's going to be on there.
Okay, cool.
And we got another one working on with Bun B. So.
Bun B. Can we expect anybody else from Houston to show up on there?
We got one with Devin the Dude already.
Oh, good.
Who else we trying? Oh, we got one in the works with Trey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And really, that might be where the buck stops. I think I'm going to try to get one more with K Reno.
Okay. And I mean, you don't need much more than that.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a great line. I'd be more than happy with that.
Did you hear the one with Paul on it?
I did hear the one with Paul.
Yeah.
I've been putting that on Facebook like every day. Y'all listen to this. Everybody needs to hear it. So that's good. We're trying to promote it. So let's kind of talk about, I know for me, the people that first got me into Southern rap and being from the South, it made me a little more proud to be from the South, was UGK. And I know maybe it gets kind of cliche to talk about them, but were they also like the first people you started getting into, or was it like Ghetto Boys, or?
Actually, I'm from San Jose. I'm from California.
Oh, okay.
So when I came to Houston, actually I wasn't really big on Houston music at that time. Okay. But Southern-wise, at that point, it was A-Ball and MJG.
Okay.
And then that's how I got introduced to UGK. Okay. And that pretty much took care of all of my style. And as far as the Houston music scene, I looked up to the cats like SPC. I liked K Reno. I liked Pharaoh, and really that was about it as far as Houston was concerned until the little swagger came with the screwed up clique. I liked Big Mello and all that later, but UGK for Texas, definitely.
Cool.
Definitely.
Cool. So a lot of people, I think, now when you hear music come out from Houston, I don't feel like enough people are giving respect to their elders. I feel like a lot of people are kind of trying to ride on the same boat that UGK came in on and Ghetto Boys, but I hear a lot in your music. I hear a lot of respect given to the elders and people that came before you. So what is like the importance of maintaining respect for people like Outkast, UGK, SEC?
I think what a lot of young artists are missing is not the talent part of the elders, it is the work that they had to put in, because it wasn't easy. So now, with the technology being what it is, you don't have to know the business side of it. You're learning you're really not learning anything. You don't really have a grind, because when we started with those guys, it was studio was always way across the world. There was no
Right.
in-house studio.
Right.
You had to pay a lot of money for a beat. You had to pay a lot of money for studio time, promotions, and then you still had to get out and do things like just hard street promotions. Like you had to do free showcases and venues, and artists nowadays don't have to do that. So my respect for those guys came from hearing a song on the radio of them, seeing that CD in the store of them, feeling like they were the biggest star ever, but then having them be right there in your face with their trunk open, selling you music and acting. You know, there was no promotion company, so that's really why I feel like the homage has to be paid in terms of paving the way in that sense. And I think when the new artists start learning that you really will never be what those guys were, then I think the music will get back to what it is. Because like right now, our biggest problem, in my opinion, is when you lose respect for artists, you also lose respect for artistry, which in turn lose respect for the whole music genre in an instance. Because you have guys in my city like Mike B, Mike Dean. They're guys that went to school for music, you know, musician wise, and now you got producers. No disrespect to them, but you got good guys like Beat King and those guys, but they're not musicians.
Yeah.
So the artists go to those guys instead of the guys that paved the way for the great artists, and wonder why your music's not as great as the originator. So that's why I pay so much respect.
So do you, when you're working on this album, did you use live instruments when the producers come in?
Yeah.
Very cool.
I actually have a whole band, and when the guys didn't play the full band, my producer, man, he uses, he plays on the Moog, about 3 boards, and live drums, live guitar, always, man, always.
That's what Pip T used to do.
Yeah, man, I loved it. I loved it. R.I.P. the Pimp, man. That's
absolutely. And I heard, just from seeing on Twitter and all the updates, it seemed like there were some obstacles you had to get through just to get this album out. It seemed like it's been a long time coming. So, what is that like? Mainly dealing with the record company, or
it's dealing with just the aspect of the business itself. What a lot of people don't understand is like the work that I've put in. I don't compare myself to the Pauls and the Cams and the other people in Texas, because when they came into the industry from the underground, the scene was still wide open. But now with the emergence of your Pauls and your Cams selling all of those records, and then turning around and the industry changing overnight, and now they can't sell those records, the industry itself doesn't weigh a project the way that they used to. So if this was 4 years ago and I come in, I could go to a distribution company and say, well, look, I have Bun B, Kiki, Pow Wow, Lazy Bone, and they cut a check.
pick it up?
Now it's like, oh, well, can you sell some units first, and then we'll cut you a check, and we'll put, so it's different.
Okay.
So that's really what it's been, trying to figure out how much of a loss I wanted to take before, I just went all out. So it's hard.
Yeah.